At Thanksgiving, my sister shoved me out of my wheelchair. "Stop faking for attention," she yelled as everyone laughed. What they didn't know was that my doctor was standing right behind them, recording everything. When my sister Kelly shoved my wheelchair from behind at Thanksgiving dinner, I didn't have time to brace myself. The chair tipped forward. My body went with it. I hit the hardwood floor face first at 6:47 p.m. on November 23rd, 2023. The impact sent white lightning up my spine. My shoulder cracked against the floor. I couldn't breathe. "Get up!" Kelly screamed, standing over me. "Stop faking for attention. Everyone's watching." I tried to push myself up. My arms shook. Every breath felt like knives. "See?" Kelly's voice was triumphant. "She's fine. It's all an act." 18 people watched me struggle on the floor. My mother, my father, aunts, uncles, cousins. Not one of them moved to help. Then a voice I wasn't expecting cut through the room. "That's felony assault and battery against a disabled person under Texas Penal Code 2204. Everyone turned. Dr. Raymond Park stood in the dining room doorway, full suit and tie, phone held up, recording. "I'm Dr. Raymond Park, orthopedic surgeon at Methodist Medical Center," he said, his voice calm and clinical. "I've been filming for 17 minutes. I have video documentation of everything that just happened." The room went silent. Kelly's face drained of color. Dr. Park stepped into the room, still recording. "I also have audio of the verbal abuse, the harassment, and the assault itself. This recording will be turned over to law enforcement within the hour." My father jumped to his feet. "Now wait, sit down." My girlfriend Sarah snapped from beside me. She was already on the floor, hands on my shoulders, checking for injuries. Dr. Park knelt on my other side. "Nathan, don't move. I need to check your spine." His hands were gentle, professional, checking vertebrae, looking for new damage. "We're taking you to the hospital," he said. "Then we're going to the police. Then we're going to destroy every single person who hurt you." Let me back up. My name is Nathan Cross. I'm 32 years old. I've been in a wheelchair for 2 years, 3 months, and 14 days. Before the accident, I was a construction foreman. I supervised crews building commercial projects across Houston. Good money, physical work. I was strong, healthy, the kind of guy who ran marathons on weekends. On August 9th, 2021, I was inspecting a 4th floor installation when the scaffolding collapsed. I fell 38 feet, landed on my back on a concrete foundation, 2 vertebrae, L1 and L2, compressed on impact. My spinal cord was damaged, not severed, thank God, but damaged enough that my legs stopped working. I woke up 3 days later in ICU. Dr. Raymond Park, 47 years old, practicing orthopedic surgery for 19 years, stood next to my bed. "Nathan, I'm going to be direct with you. Your spine is severely injured. We had to perform an emergency decompression and fusion. You have titanium hardware holding your vertebrae together. The surgery took 9 hours. Can I walk? I don't know yet. The spinal cord bruising is significant. We'll know more in the next few weeks." The next few weeks turned into months. Months of physical therapy where I fought to move my toes, to feel anything below my waist. Small victories that felt massive. A twitch in my left foot, sensation in my right thigh. But walking? That didn't come back. Dr. Park explained it in terms I could understand. The nerves are damaged but not destroyed. Some function may return over years, but for now, and possibly forever, you'll need the wheelchair. I moved in with my parents 6 months after the accident. Temporary, I thought. Just until I got back on my feet. Except I wasn't getting back on my feet, and my family started to notice. The first comment came from Kelly at Christmas dinner 2021. I was 4 months post-accident, still adjusting to the wheelchair, still going to physical therapy 3 times a week. "How long are you planning to milk this?" she asked over dessert. I looked up from my pie. "What?" "The wheelchair thing. How long before you try walking again?" "Kelly, I can't walk." "Can't or won't?" My mother laughed nervously. "Kelly, don't start, I'm just saying. Nathan was always dramatic. Remember when he broke his arm in high school? He acted like he was dying. I broke my arm in 3 places, and you recovered fine. Just like you'll recover from this." She said it like a challenge, like my paralysis was a choice I was making out of stubbornness. I should have said something then. Should have explained the medical reality. Instead, I went quiet. That was my first mistake. By Easter 2022, Kelly had gotten bolder. Family dinner at mom and dad's house. 15 people crammed around the table. I was squeezed into the corner where my wheelchair barely fit. "Is insurance fraud a felony?" Kelly announced to the room. "I'm asking for someone who's faking being paralyzed to collect disability." Everyone went quiet. Kelly. Dad's voice had no force behind it. "What? I'm just curious because I read that disability fraud costs taxpayers millions, and some people," she looked at me, "fake injuries to avoid working. I'm not faking. Then why haven't you gotten better? It's been 8 months. Physical therapy should have worked by now. It doesn't work like that, doesn't it? Or are you just not trying hard enough?" My mother changed the subject, talked about the weather, about her garden, anything to avoid addressing what Kelly had just said. But the seed was planted. The family started looking at me differently. Whispers, glances, questions about when I'd be back to normal. I lived in my parents' basement. No ramps, no accessibility modifications, just concrete floors, storage boxes, and narrow aisles I had to navigate. Every morning was a battle. Getting dressed, getting upstairs, making breakfast in a kitchen designed for standing people. Mom reminded me constantly what I cost. "Your surgery was $472,000, she'd say, usually while I was eating. Insurance covered most of it, but we still had to pay $58,000 out of pocket. I'll pay you back when the settlement. The wheelchair van was $40,000. Your therapy is $1,800 a month. Your medications are $300. Do you know what that adds up to? Every number was a weapon. Every expense a reminder that I was a burden. Dad was worse. He'd sigh when he had to help me with something, roll his eyes when I asked for accommodations. Can we put a ramp on the back stairs, I asked one morning. Do you know what that costs? I could help pay. With what money? You're on disability. The workers' comp settlement isn't going to cover years of you living here rent-free, draining our retirement. I stopped asking for help after that. Kelly's Facebook campaign started in July 2022. She posted inspirational stories about paralyzed people who refuse to be victims, videos of people walking again after spinal injuries, articles about the power of positive thinking. One post read, "Some people use tragedy as an excuse to stop trying. Real warriors fight through the pain." Mom liked it. Dad shared it. 2 weeks later, she posted a photo of me from before the accident, running a half marathon, smiling, healthy. Caption, "My brother used to be strong. Now he's given up. Pray he finds the courage to fight again." 53 comments, all of them praising Kelly for loving support and hoping I'd recover soon. No one asked if I was okay with her posting about my medical condition publicly. Sarah, my girlfriend of 4 years, the woman who'd stayed through the accident and recovery, was furious. "She's creating a narrative," Sarah said, showing me the posts. "She's making it look like you're choosing to stay in the chair. I can't control what she posts. You could report it. Tell Facebook it's medical misinformation. She's family. She's abusing you." I didn't want to believe that. Kelly was my sister. We'd grown up together. She'd visited me in the hospital after the accident, brought flowers, cried when she saw me in ICU. But that was before she realized I wasn't getting better. The escalation happened fast after that. August 2022. Kelly accidentally parked in the disabled spot at a family barbecue, made me park 2 blocks away and wheel myself through uneven grass. September 2022. She loudly discussed wheelchairs at my nephew's birthday party. "Did you know you can get electric ones? Nathan still uses manual. Makes you wonder if he's really that weak." October 2022. She posted a video called "Disability Fraud: How to Spot a Faker." Tagged me. Every incident, I told myself it was nothing, that she was just stressed. That family was complicated. Sarah saw through it. She's planning something bigger. I can feel it. She's just being Kelly. "Nathan, she's trying to get you to prove you're not faking. And when you can't prove it because you can't walk, she's going to use that against you. What am I supposed to do? Document everything. Keep records. And maybe," she hesitated, "maybe talk to Dr. Park." I called Dr. Park 3 days before Thanksgiving. I'd been seeing him for follow-up appointments every 3 months. MRIs, X-rays, checking hardware, monitoring nerve function. He knew my case inside and out. Knew the medical reality of my injury. Knew I wasn't faking. "Dr. Park, I need to ask you something. It's going to sound strange." "Go ahead." "My family, they don't believe I'm really paralyzed. My sister especially. She's been posting online about disability fraud, making comments. I think she's going to do something at Thanksgiving." Silence on the other end. "What do you mean, do something?" "I don't know. Sarah thinks she's going to try to make me prove I can walk, or call me out publicly, or I don't know, something." "And you want what from me?" "Backup, documentation, something that proves I'm not faking. So when she tries whatever she's planning, I have proof." More silence. Then, "Nathan, these people watched you nearly die. They saw you in the ICU. They know your medical history, and they still think you're lying? Yeah. Then they're not going to believe documentation either. They're going to believe what they want to believe. So there's nothing I can do?" I didn't say that. His voice changed, got harder. "If your sister is planning to hurt you, physically or emotionally in front of your family, then they need to see exactly who she is. They need to see the truth. What are you suggesting?" "I'm suggesting that I come to Thanksgiving dinner, as your guest, as your doctor, and if your sister tries anything, I document it, on video, with audio, legal evidence that can be used in court if necessary. You do that?" "Nathan, I spent 9 hours rebuilding your spine. I've spent 2 years watching you fight through pain and uncertainty. I've watched you adapt to a life you never wanted. If your family is going to hurt you again, they can damn well do it on camera." The plan came together over the next 3 days. Dr. Park would arrive at my parents' house around 6 p.m. Sarah would let him in through the back door. He'd stay in the kitchen, out of sight, recording everything. "I want full documentation," he said during our planning call. "Audio, video, timestamps. If your sister does anything at all that crosses a line, I want evidence. What if nothing happens? Then we eat turkey and I go home. But I don't think nothing is going to happen." Sarah made me promise to stay calm no matter what Kelly said. "Don't engage. Don't defend yourself. Just let her talk. Let her show everyone who she really is. What if she physically does something? Then Dr. Park has assault on camera and we press charges." I didn't want to believe it would go that far. Thanksgiving Day, November 23rd, 2023. I arrived at my parents' house at 5:15 p.m. Sarah drove, helped me transfer from the car to my wheelchair, pushed me up the poorly maintained walkway. The house smelled like turkey and resentment. 18 people were there. Mom's sisters, Dad's brothers, cousins, Kelly and her husband Derek, their 2 kids. My spot was in the corner of the dining room, same spot as last year. here. Barely enough room for my wheelchair. I was crammed between the wall and the china cabinet. Kelly arrived at 5:45 p.m. like she was making an entrance. Designer dress, professional hair and makeup. She kissed everyone, made a show of greeting family. Then she saw me. "Hey, Nate." Her smile was sharp. "Still working on that miracle recovery?" Sarah squeezed my hand under the table. "Stay calm." "Hi, Kelly. How's therapy going? Making progress?" Some. She laughed. "It's been 2 years, Nathan. Most people would be walking by now. It doesn't work like what? Like you think it should? Maybe if you tried harder." My mother interrupted. "Kelly, not now. Let's just have a nice dinner." But Kelly was already wound up. Dinner started at 6:15 p.m. turkey. Mashed potatoes, green beans, stuffing, the usual. Sarah texted Dr. Park at 6:18 p.m. "He's here. Back door in 5. I watched the kitchen doorway, saw Sarah slip away, saw her return 2 minutes later with a slight nod. Dr. Park was in position. Kelly dominated the conversation, talked about her kids' achievements, her husband's promotion, their new house. Everything was perfect in Kelly's world. Then she pivoted. "You know, Cody's tuition is $15,000 a year now. Private school isn't cheap, but when you're a good parent, you make sacrifices." She looked directly at me. "Some people never learn what real sacrifice looks like." I kept eating, didn't respond. "Must be nice not having to worry about supporting yourself," she continued. "Living rent-free, no job, just sitting around." "Kelly," Dad's voice had warning in it, but no real authority. "What? I'm just saying. Some of us work for a living. Some of us contribute." Sarah's grip on my hand tightened. Kelly kept going. "I read this article about disability fraud. Did you know people fake injuries all the time, collect money, live off the system? It's disgusting." "That's enough," Mom said, but she was smiling when she said it. "Is it though? Is it really enough? Because I've been thinking about this for 2 years and I'm tired of pretending." The room went quiet. "Pretending what?" I asked. "That you're actually hurt, that you actually need that chair, that you're not just milking this for everything it's worth." There it was, finally, out in the open. "I had surgery. I have titanium rods in my spine." "So you say. There are medical records, x-rays, MRIs, which you could have faked, paid off doctors, made it look worse than it is. Why would I do that? For the money, the attention, the sympathy? Take your pick." Dessert came out at 6:40 p.m. Kelly served pie to everyone. Cherry, pumpkin, pecan. She went around the table making a show of giving each person a slice. When she got to me, she kept walking. "Did you forget something?" I asked. The room went silent. Kelly turned back. "Oh, did you want pie?" "Obviously. I wasn't sure. With the wheelchair and everything. Limited mobility. Maybe you should watch your weight," someone gasped. "One of my cousins, I think." "I'm not watching my weight. Maybe you should be. You're already immobile." "Mom can't afford to buy a bariatric wheelchair if you get too heavy." "Kelly, stop." Mom's voice had no force. "No, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how Nathan has been living in the basement for 2 years, draining Mom and Dad's retirement, taking their money, their time, their space. I pay rent. $200 a month is not rent. That's charity, and you're bleeding them dry." Dad stood up. "Actually, your sister makes a valid point. Are you kidding me?" Sarah's voice was sharp. "Nathan almost died. He had his spine crushed. He's been fighting for 2 years to recover, and you're treating him like a burden?" "He is a burden," Kelly snapped. "He's always been dramatic, always needed attention. This is just his latest act." I felt my chest tighten, not from fear, from rage. "Prove it," Kelly said, walking toward me. "What? Prove you actually need that chair. Stand up right now. Show everyone you're really paralyzed." "I can't. You won't. There's a difference." She walked behind my wheelchair, put her hands on the back. "Kelly, don't." Sarah started to stand. "I'll show everyone proof." Then she shoved, hard. The wheelchair tipped forward. My body went with it. No core strength to catch myself. No way to stop the fall. I hit the floor face first. My shoulder cracked against hardwood. Pain exploded up my spine, my neck, my skull. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move, just lay there gasping. "Get up," Kelly said, standing over me. Her voice was triumphant. "Stop faking, everyone's watching." I tried, God, I tried. My arms shook trying to push myself up. Every breath sent knives through my ribs. "See?" Kelly turned to the room. "She's fine, it's all an act. She could get up if she wanted to." That's when Dr. Park's voice cut through the chaos. "That's felony assault and battery against a disabled person under Texas Penal Code 2204. Everyone turned. Dr. Park stood in the dining room doorway, full suit and tie, phone held up, still recording. His face was granite. "I'm Dr. Raymond Park," he said, walking into the room. "Orthopedic surgeon at Methodist Medical Center, board certified, practicing for 19 years. I performed the spinal fusion surgery on Nathan Cross on August 11th, 2021. He held up his phone. "I've been recording for 17 minutes. I have video documentation of verbal abuse, disability discrimination, and assault. With witnesses present, Kelly's face went from triumphant to white in about 3 seconds. You can't. This is private property," she sputtered. "Texas is a one-party consent state. Sarah consented to my presence and recording. Everything I've captured is legally admissible." He knelt beside me, still holding the phone up. Sarah was already there, hands on my shoulders. "Nathan, don't move. I need to check your spine." His hands were professional, gentle, checking each vertebra. Any sharp pain, numbness, tingling, shoulder, ribs, back, possible fracture. "We're taking you to Methodist. Sarah, call 911. I want documentation of injuries from the assault." "Now wait just a minute. My father stood up. Sit down, Dr. Park said. Didn't raise his voice. Didn't need to. Or leave. But if you interfere with medical treatment of an assault victim, I'll have you arrested for obstruction. Dad sat. Dr. Park turned to Kelly. What you just did is assault with bodily injury against a disabled person. That's a third-degree felony in Texas. 2 to 10 years in prison, plus civil liability for medical expenses and damages. I didn't. I was just, he's faking. He's not faking. Dr. Park held up his phone, swiped. An X-ray appeared on screen. My spine, full of screws and rods and titanium hardware. He turned the phone toward the room. Let everyone see. L1 and L2 compression fractures. Spinal cord decompression infusion. 9 hours of surgery. $472,000 in medical costs. Permanent nerve damage. He swiped again. Another image. MRI scan showing the damage to my spinal cord. This is from 6 weeks ago. The bruising to the spinal cord is visible. The nerve damage is documented. This is not faked. This is not exaggerated. This is a catastrophic injury. Kelly tried to speak. Nothing came out. Dr. Park swiped again. Audio played from his phone. Kelly's voice clear as day. Prove it. Stand up right now. Show everyone you're really paralyzed. Then the crash. My body hitting the floor. Gasps from around the room. Then Kelly's voice again. See? She's fine. It's all an act. Dr. Park stopped the recording. I will be turning this over to Houston Police Department within the hour. I will also be filing a complaint with Adult Protective Services regarding the living conditions in the basement. He looked at my mother. Nathan has been living in an inaccessible space for 2 years. No ramps, no modifications, boxes and obstacles creating danger. That's neglect of a disabled dependent. Mom started crying. We didn't know. You knew. You chose not to care. He looked around the table at all 18 people who'd watched this happen. You are all witnesses to felony assault. Police will be contacting each of you for statements. If you lie or refuse to cooperate, you can be charged with obstruction. My uncle stood up. We didn't know she was going to. You sat there and laughed when she called him a faker. You enabled this. You're complicit. The ambulance arrived at 7:04 p.m. 2 paramedics, James Rodriguez and Lisa Chen, both certified EMTs with Houston Fire Department, came into the dining room with a backboard and neck brace. Possible spinal injury from assault, Dr. Park explained, showing them his medical credentials on his phone. Patient has existing L1, L2 fusion with hardware, fell from wheelchair onto hardwood floor, complaining of shoulder and rib pain. They immobilized my spine, lifted me onto the backboard. The whole time, Dr. Park narrated for his recording 7:06 p.m., patient being transported to Methodist Medical Center for evaluation of injuries sustained in assault. As they wheeled me out, I saw Kelly standing frozen by the table. Derek was on his phone, frantically calling someone. My mother was sobbing. My father looked like he'd aged 10 years. Sarah followed the stretcher out. I'm riding with him. Dr. Park stopped at the door, turned back to face my family. I've spent my career fixing broken spines, but I can't fix broken families. What you did to Nathan, the abuse, the mockery, the assault, that's on you, and now you'll answer for it. He walked out. Methodist Medical Center, 8:15 p.m. X-rays showed a fractured collarbone, 3 cracked ribs, and severe bruising along my spine. No new spinal damage, thank God. But Dr. Park wanted to keep me overnight for observation. Detective Maria Santos from Houston PD arrived at 9:30 p.m. 22 years on the force, currently working assault cases. Mr. Cross, I've reviewed the video Dr. Park provided. This is clearly assault. I need to get your statement. I told her everything. The 2 years of accusations, the Facebook posts, the verbal abuse, the assault at dinner. Were there other incidents? She parked in disabled spots so I couldn't, made me park blocks away, called me a faker publicly multiple times. That's disability discrimination, possibly harassment. I'll include it in the report. She showed me screenshots. Dr. Park had already sent her the video, time-stamped, crystal clear footage of Kelly shoving my wheelchair. This is textbook assault with injury against a disabled person. That's a third-degree felony. Your sister is looking at serious prison time. What about my parents? They're witnesses. We'll interview them. If they try to protect your sister or lie, they can be charged with obstruction or conspiracy. She handed me a card. You're also entitled to file for a protective order. Keep your sister and anyone who harassed you away from you. Do it, Sarah said. File for all of them. Kelly was arrested at 11:47 p.m. that night. Detective Santos went to my parents' house with 2 uniformed officers, found Kelly still there, arguing with my parents about calling a lawyer. Kelly Pierce, you're under arrest for assault with bodily injury against a disabled person. Santos handcuffed her in the dining room, in front of everyone. Kelly screamed, cried, claimed it was an accident, that I'd provoked her, that I was faking, and she was proving it. Santos didn't care. You have the right to remain silent. They took her to Harris County Jail, booked her at 12:34 a.m. Bond was set at $50,000 because of the severity of the charge and the video evidence. Derek posted bond at 8 now a.m. the next morning. Kelly was released with conditions, no contact with me, mandatory anger management, and a court date set for January 15th. Adult Protective Services opened an investigation into my living conditions on November 24th. Caseworker Jennifer Park, no relation to Dr. Park, 15 years with APS, specialized in disabled disabled adult cases, came to the hospital at 2 p.m. Mr. Cross, I need to see photos of where you've been living. Sarah had taken photos the week before. The narrow basement, the boxes blocking pathways, the stairs with no ramp, the bathroom I couldn't access. Jennifer's face hardened as she scrolled through them. This is neglect. Your parents had a duty to provide accessible housing. They failed that duty. What happens now? We file a report. I'll be recommending that you not return to that home. You need accessible housing with appropriate supports. I don't have anywhere else to go. Yes, you do, Sarah said. My apartment. It's ground floor, wide doorways, accessible bathroom. You can move in today. I looked at her. We'd been together 4 years, but never lived together. This wasn't how I wanted it to happen. I'm not letting you go back there, she said. Not after what they did. Thanksgiving weekend was a blur. Saturday, November 25th, I was discharged from Methodist with pain medication, a sling for my fractured collarbone, and instructions to follow up with Dr. Park in 1 week. Sarah moved my belongings out of my parents' basement. She went with her brother Mike, 6'4", former college football player, who made it very clear that if anyone tried to stop them, he'd be making calls to Detective Santos. My parents didn't try. Sunday, November 26th, my mother called 43 times, left 27 voicemails. I listened to the first one. Nathan, please call me back. This is all a misunderstanding. Kelly didn't mean to hurt you. She was just trying to help. We're a family. We can work this out. I didn't call back. Monday, November 27th, Kelly's lawyer called. Wanted to discuss a resolution. Translation, they wanted me to drop charges. I called Detective Santos. Kelly's lawyer is trying to make this go away. They can't make assault disappear. The state is prosecuting this. Even if you didn't want to press charges, we would. What about civil? That's separate. You can sue her for medical expenses, pain and suffering, emotional distress. I'd recommend talking to a lawyer. Sarah already had one. Rebecca Martinez, personal injury attorney with Chen and Martinez Law, 12 years of experience in disability discrimination and assault cases. Mr. Cross, you have an excellent case. Clear video evidence, medical documentation, witnesses. Your sister is going to pay for what she did. The question is how much? The next few weeks were a legal avalanche. December 1st, Kelly was formally charged with assault with bodily injury against a disabled person, a third-degree felony carrying 2 to 10 years in prison. December 5th, I filed a civil lawsuit against Kelly for $500,000 in damages, medical expenses, pain and suffering, emotional distress, and punitive damages. December 8th, I filed a protective order against Kelly, my parents, and 3 other family members who'd sent harassing messages telling me to drop this. December 12th, Adult Protective Services concluded their investigation. Official finding: confirmed neglect of disabled adult. Recommends no contact between victim and parents pending improved living arrangements or home modifications. December 18th, Kelly's lawyer filed a motion to dismiss the criminal charges, claiming I'd provoked the assault by faking disability. Dr. Park submitted a 47-page medical report to the court. Complete history of my injury, all surgeries, all treatment, all documentation, proving the injury was real. The judge denied the motion. The criminal trial was set for April 2024, but Kelly's lawyer pushed for a plea deal. She can't win at trial. The video is too damaging. Rebecca Martinez negotiated hard. Your client assaulted a disabled man in front of 18 witnesses, and it's all on video. She's going to prison. The question is, for how long? The plea agreement came together in March. Kelly pleaded guilty to assault causing bodily injury, reduced from the felony charge, sentenced to 18 months in prison, eligible for parole after 9 months, 5 years probation after release, mandatory anger management counseling, permanent protective order prohibiting contact with me, agreement not to contest the civil lawsuit. Kelly took the plea on March 28, 2024. At the sentencing hearing, the judge, Judge Patricia Wong, 23 years on the bench, read from Dr. Park's report. Ms. Pierce, the evidence against you is overwhelming. You physically assaulted your disabled brother based on the delusional belief that he was faking a catastrophic spinal injury. You did this in front of your entire family. You showed no remorse until you were arrested. Kelly was crying. Her lawyer was whispering to her. The victim impact statement filed by Mr. Cross details 2 years of systematic abuse, mockery, and harassment. You created a hostile environment for a disabled family member. You publicly accused him of fraud. You assaulted him when he couldn't fight back. Judge Wong looked at me in the gallery. Mr. Cross, do you wish to address the court? I wheeled forward, Sarah beside me. Your Honor, I don't want revenge. I want my sister to understand what she did. I want her to know that disability isn't a choice, that spinal injuries don't heal because you want them to, that wheelchairs aren't props. I looked at Kelly. She wouldn't meet my eyes. I almost died on that construction site. I fought for 2 years to adapt to a new reality, and my family, the people who were supposed to support me, made it worse. They made me feel like a burden, like a fraud, like I deserved this. My voice broke. I hope you learn from this. I hope you become better, but I don't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Judge Wong nodded. Ms. Pierce, you will serve 18 months at Carol S. Young Medical Facility. I'm also ordering you to pay $47,000 in restitution for medical expenses resulting from the assault. The gavel came down. Kelly was taken into custody immediately. immediately. The civil lawsuit settled in May 2024. Kelly's homeowner's insurance covered most of it. They were liable because the assault happened at my parents' house during a family gathering. Settlement amount, $385,000. I used it to buy an accessible condo, ground floor, wide doorways, roll-in shower, everything I needed. Sarah moved in with me in June. My parents tried to reconcile in July. My mother showed up at the condo unannounced. Sarah answered the door. "Nathan's not interested in seeing you," Sarah said. "I'm his mother. I have a right. You have no rights. There's a protective order. You're violating it by being here. Leave or I call the police." Mom left. She sent a letter the next week. "Nathan, I'm sorry for everything. I didn't understand how badly you were hurt. I believed Kelly when she said you were exaggerating. I thought you'd get better if we pushed you. I was wrong. Your father and I want to make things right. Can we talk?" I didn't respond. 1 year after Thanksgiving, I was sitting on my accessible patio when Dr. Park called. "Nathan, I wanted to check in. How are you doing?" "Better. The condo helps. Sarah helps. Therapy helps." "Good. And your family?" "Kelly's in prison. My parents are blocked. The rest of the family. Some reached out to apologize. Most didn't. I'm sorry. Don't be. You saved my life. Again." He was quiet for a moment. "You know, I've been a surgeon for 19 years. I've fixed hundreds of spines, but I've never seen anyone fight like you did. Not just the physical recovery, the emotional recovery. Coming back from that kind of betrayal. I had help. You had yourself. That's what mattered." We talked for a few more minutes. About upcoming appointments. About a new experimental treatment for nerve damage. About hope. After we hung up, Sarah came out with coffee. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah. Actually, yeah. Thinking about Thanksgiving? Hard not to." She squeezed my hand. "They wanted you to prove you were really disabled. You did. Just not the way they expected. By falling, by surviving, by building a life without them, by being strong enough to fight back." Kelly was released on parole in December 2024 after serving 9 months. I heard through family gossip that she'd moved to Oklahoma, that Derek had divorced her, that she'd lost custody of her kids. I didn't feel sorry for her. She'd pushed me out of my wheelchair and called it help. She'd accused me of faking paralysis and called it love. She destroyed our family and called it truth. And when the video showed everyone exactly who she was, she'd acted like the victim. Some people never learn.